Hey, welcome back. This is Athletes Incorporated. Check us on ibtv.us, Roku TV, and YouTube. Comment, subscribe, like what we got going on. This is our third segment of the day, and we're going to be talking about our controversial topic. And one of the main topics of this week has been a student actually from our hometown, Cherokee Trails, reached out to a coach, Alex Jeffcoat at Texas Wesleyan, to see if he could possibly play baseball for the team. And what did you hear about that? Just that whole story.
The coach emailed, text back, whatever, and told the young man, "You're from Colorado. You have legalized marijuana, and no, you can't come here because you're going to have a hard time passing drug tests, and you have your liberal politicians to thank for this."
Right.
So this man obviously is living in his own little bubble, his own world,
right?
Because they fired him.
Right. And Alex Jeffcoat, folks, if you don't know, he played in the major leagues for 10 years. He's been with the college for 16 years. Kind of like a little backstory. DMACC, Darren McKee, actually broke the story. He's a local personality and journalist here in Denver, and he broke the story, and I think kind of made the push to get this guy out the door. Kind of playing devil's advocate, I was just thinking about this. You've been a coach for 30 years plus. Is there any truth to that? When you talk to other coaches, is there any truth to Colorado kids, us not being able to pass drug tests?
They just legalized marijuana not too long ago.
Right.
There's when you deal with teenage kids, college-age kids, male or female,
right,
you're going to have some kids who flunk the marijuana test.
Right.
That's not really a big deal.
Right.
But I've never heard a coach, male coach, female coach, any sport, go on record and tell a young man or a young lady, "You can't come here."
Wrote it down in the email.
You can't come here because of the possibility that you might not pass it, and say thank your liberal politicians. Because I don't think so much, man, that DMACC pushed for him to be fired.
Right.
When he brought the political thing in there, thank your liberal politicians for this, then he opened up the door. He opened up Pandora's box for everyone else to start making comments about it. And he's been there 16 years. There's some skeletons in his closet, and he's probably stepped on some toes.
And they also said he had an NCAA violation. And kind of speaking to him being there 16 years, I've had teachers and coaches who have been on campuses or been with the program too long where they think they can do no wrong and they're God. Mm-hmm. And some of them even had checked out. And that's not okay. That's never, something that is okay, especially when you're dealing with young kids. You're molding their lives.
Right.
And I'm sure there was some other stuff going on with him.
Oh, yes.
I imagine what he would, he would say.
Well, you have to think, man, a person who would say that would write that down. He's probably said and made some sexist statements.
Right.
For sure. He probably has said and made some racist statements.
Absolutely.
Ones that, of course, he doesn't even know that are racist. Most guys like that. He said things that are racist, and someone has been laying in the weeds to get him. And now they have their shot, and they got him. But it's really time for a person like that to go. I don't see whether he can reach the young men now. Because when you're a coach, and I've been head coach at the college level, when someone tests positive, you have to mentor them. You have to make them understand how, guys, this isn't what we're going to do right now. You don't kick them out the door and tell your mom and dad, thanks for this. You don't have a scholarship anymore. That's not the way that works.
And folks, I know we got to move on to our next part of our controversial topic, but folks, just to make it clear for our viewers that are around the world and aren't from Colorado, there's a lot of ignorance with our marijuana industry. It's actually very difficult for teenagers to get marijuana. It's easier for them to get a gun, sadly.
Yes.
There are so many checks. My little brother works in the industry and is extremely extremely regulated. It's not something that's just a free for all or a red light district.
No.
So I just wanted to let you guys know that if you're not from Colorado,
it's not like a person having a fake ID and going into a liquor store.
Yeah, no,
you can't do that.
not.
That fake ID will be picked up immediately,
and you will be arrested.
Yes, but now, folks, we're going to talk about Lamar Jackson, the great Heisman Trophy winner from Louisville, quarterback, who, in my opinion, is going to end up being as good a quarterback as the kid that we have at the Houston Texans.
Deshaun Watson.
He's a bigger, stronger, faster Watson. And he's getting no kind of play except for that. The thing I'm saying is people make racist statements, prejudicial statements, whatever you want to say, call it, about a black player. Bill Polian, who doesn't know that he constantly makes statements that about a black player, about a white player that are different.
Mm-hmm.
Now he says right off the bat, Lamar Jackson ought to move to wide receiver.
He's not big enough. Said he would. First he said he was slight built. He's actually the same built as Andy Dalton. So
he weighs 210 pounds?
215 something pounds, 6'2".
He's 6'2", 215 pounds. That's a nice size quarterback coming in. You know he's going to put on 10 more pounds. Said that he needs to move to wide receiver, that he's such a threat in the open field. In other words, folks, that's code for Poland doesn't think that he's smart enough.
Right.
Doesn't think that he has leadership qualities to be a professional quarterback. But he would put these lesser quarterbacks, he'll put them ahead of a young man who won the Heisman Trophy.
Right.
Never been in any trouble. They said at the combine, yes sir, no sir. They've never had a person that was more personable, more knowledgeable,
and didn't do any of the shuttle drills or any of the. He strictly focused on the quarterback stuff drill because he wants to be a quarterback. I'm curious.
And the reason why he didn't do the drills, Trey, is because he didn't want that Poland thing pushing him toward receiver. Because he's one of the fastest. He runs 4.3.
Yeah.
He's the fastest. He can catch the ball. He's an unbelievable athlete. But he deserves the opportunity to be a quarterback first. He's been a quarterback his entire life.
And think about this, Dad. He was at Louisville when he won the Heisman, okay? He didn't have any talent around him. I don't think any of the players he played with were drafted higher than the third round.
Yeah, well, now you got to remember, though, Trey, his Heisman Trophy year, he had talent enough around to do a really great job at his senior year. And he stayed his senior year, folks. He could have come out, took the money, but no. Those kids that he came in with as a freshman, he said, I'm going to stay. We all said we're going to stay and graduate together, play 4 years at Louisville together. That's the kind of character he has. Right. He stayed that fourth year and put that team on his back. He actually had better numbers his senior year with lesser people around him than he had when he won the Heisman Trophy.
And accuracy percentage, passing yards, yards per pass, all of the matrix are better than Josh Allen, who was predicted to be the best quarterback in the draft. Right. So that's something that's very interesting.
Whoever takes Lamar Jackson is going to have a great quarterback. They let him come. I mean, he's Teddy Bridgewater or the other kid. He's bigger, faster, stronger than all
Deshaun Watson.
The really mobile quarterbacks. And if you just want to put with the black quarterbacks with him, I think he has the most upside. But you have these people who are saying, go to wide receiver. Come on, guys.
Well, you know what's interesting? The league's changing, and I think Bill Polian is still kind of in the stone ages of the league. And tell me if I'm wrong, he'd fit in great with what the Eagles are doing right now with that RPO system they're doing. He'd fit in great with what the Panthers are doing. He'd actually fit in very great with what the Indianapolis Colts are doing. The offensive coordinator from the Eagles is with the Colts now, and they run that RPO type system.
Any of those, I can't think of one team, man, that he wouldn't be. And if you get him to a team where he can sit for a year, wow, it's really going to be something special. I wouldn't be surprised, man, if he's there in the if he's there in the third, fourth round. I wouldn't be surprised if Kansas City Chiefs pick him up. That's the kind of kid that their head coach likes, man. Like San Francisco 49ers. He's sit behind that kid.
Yeah.
It's a whole lot. The Raiders.
I could see that. I can see that. John Gruden likes those guys.
You know, he'd really be great with the Raiders. But that's what we're talking about, folks. You know, you would think it's here we are, 2018, and we're still going through some of these problems with giving everyone equal opportunity, equal access. But that's it. That's all we have for you this week. Have a great week, folks, and we'll see you around the corner.